is what I'm talking about, Sega! Woo! Hey everybody, it's the Lyoko Gem, and we just got two amazing things from the Sonic YouTube channel today. First up, we have a song that officially dethroned I Am All of Me and All Hail Shadow as the edgiest character themes, and if you don't believe me, well, listen to this. I am the sharpest of blades, I'll cut you down in a second. It's just so cool and edgy. Sorry, Shadow, but you're no longer the edgiest kid in school. No wonder you joined up with Infinite. But aside from that, we've got a brand new Forces trailer dedicated to the man himself, Infinite. And we get our first looks at in-game cutscenes and the like. So today, we'll be looking at the trailer for Infinite, and as well as insight into the song, as well as a bit of theorizing on Infinite. So without further ado, let's begin. So we start off with a shot of Infinite atop some sort of metal construct that we see quite a lot of in this particular trailer. More than likely some sort of base that Eggman built for, well, what everybody's calling the Uprising, being Infinite, Eggman, and his crew. Not much can be noted except for the fact that there's the metal tree there, which could hint at whatever area this is. The whole effect that Eggman has had on it is industrialization of it, similar to Planet Wisp, or maybe even robotization from the comics. Anyway, Infinite is adjusting his mask, which he honestly does a lot of in this trailer. This suggests that he's hiding something, and whatever his true identity is, it could be a secret that needs to be unlocked later on in the story. But moving on to him still being all cool and edgy, we have the next scene, where he's adjusting his mask again, which as I said earlier, further proves the importance of identity. Then we've got Infinite floating in some sort of new zone. We haven't seen it before, but Infinite is displaying some sort of attack that involves a swirling vortex. Whether or not this is a cutscene, or actually means we'll be fighting him in this location, no one can tell yet. As for the next scene, well, it's one of the most interesting to me. What I believe is a custom character is trying to do a fist bump with Infinite. You know, that one more last fist bump? Infinite isn't having any of it, and oh man, I could go on and on about this. But it seems that it proves that Infinite interacts with the custom character directly at some point in the game. Therefore, a point in favor for my theory, Infinite and the custom character, which you should probably check out after this video for a little more context. Could this further prove the interaction and perhaps the possibility of my theory? Who knows, but it's important. I could probably make a separate video on this later on. But another thing we can note is the environment. It's different than anything we've ever seen in Sonic Forces. However, it does remind me of something. For starters, it should be noted that the walkway is made up of little hexagons, and the big blocky things in the background, we've already seen an area in the Sonic universe that has these features. And oh gosh, I can already see the anger from this, but it reminds me of the Lost Hex, so it is possible that we'll revisit it in Sonic Forces at some point. The only level that really used hexagons, in level rather than just on the world map, is Honeycomb Highway. And in case you didn't know, I really like Honeycomb Highway, so I would be entirely okay with this. And although they use these hexagons a little differently, the Lost Hex, and particularly Honeycomb Highway, were the first things that came to mind when I took a look at these, but it's possible that it could be an entirely different new area, as the Forces art style is very Lost World inspired, as even more evident by this trailer. Actually, it might just be the same area from the beginning, as for a split second, we can see one of the metal trees when Infinite moves a little, and in the back is some sort of dome thing. Very interesting indeed. Also, as for Infinite himself, it should be noted that in this scene, he has these little marks on the sides of his body, which are only present in certain scenes. While I initially thought that this was a thing that happens when he attacks, this is not quite the case, as they're present before he does it. So I'm thinking that this proves that Infinite can change slight appearance, but depending on what, we have no idea. It could be a deal like Chaos where he gets more powerful and he slightly changes, or, well, you know, custom character deal, which I talk about in my theory. Hard to say since we have such limited information. Then we've got Infinite floating in Green Hill. Not much to state, except he's got the aura going on and it's glitching a little. Not only this, but him being present in Green Hill Zone possibly leads to him being the cause of Classic Sonic's presence, since it's likely that Green Hill Zone is the first Classic Sonic level. After that, we've got Infinite floating again, and holy crap, is that the Time Eater gate behind him? I mean, it looks very similar, and that raises even more questions. No idea where this could be, though. As for the last black and white shot, Infinite is in front of some gigantic machine. No idea what this could be, except that Eggman's been busy. I will say that it reminds me of the Crimson Tower from Sonic Riders Zero Gravity. While this would normally excite me, I doubt that it means anything Riders related, which is unfortunate because I really need my Babylon Rogues back. Then we jump into the first cutscene that we've seen for the game. Rather than go through this on a second-by-second basis, I'll just point out everything we can see and note from this cutscene. For starters, all 6 villains are there, including Eggman, Infinite, and the Evil Rock Quartet. Tails is also there, and he's got the Miles Electric with him. He's probably going to be killed by Infinite later in this scene, but whatever. Oh, and Infinite has some pretty awesome kicks, with the bottom of his shoes being shown, which is a nice touch. The cutscene is most undoubtedly in Engine as well. This also takes place in Park Avenue, which makes me believe that it takes place immediately when you run into Shadow, which is more than likely how we're introduced to all of these villains. Amy told him to be careful, but looks like Sonic's going in and attacking somebody he's never faced before. Other things to note are that Infinite is an incredibly powerful being, decimating Sonic in this fight, showing off that he's even faster than Sonic. Whatever the heck Infinite is, he's got some sort of distortion, as Tails doesn't even get a good read on him. Also, another thing is that for a short moment, Chaos has some sort of weird distortion about him. No idea what that could particularly mean. And finally, while I don't think it means anything, everybody's been pointing it out, so I guess I will too. People say that Shadow's eyes look particularly different, suggesting mind control and all that jazz, and honestly, that's boring and simply unimaginative for Shadow, so I sincerely hope that this is not the case. Please let it be something else, because we've seen Shadow mind control in Rise of Lyric, and, well, Rise of Lyric, but the point is... No, wait, it was Shattered Crystal. But the point is, please don't make Shadow mind controlled again. You said he fought for his own reasons, so let him fight for his own reasons, like, actually, something good. Good, but that aside, and continuing on, we move into this scene. I don't really have much else to say, except that the graphics look crisp and clean in Engine, especially on the effects like Sonic's Boost and Homing Attack, and that Roger Craig Smith, Colleen Villard, and Mike Pollock all sound great in this scene as well. As for the final scene, not much can be said about it, except for the fact that this is a brand new area. It reminds me a little bit of Planet Wisp due to the greenery and the red machine in the background, but I don't think this actually is Planet Wisp. However, I think this area is relatively early in the game, since it's clear that Sonic doesn't know who exactly Infinite is, and they introduce themselves to each other. However, what is it that Infinite smells? Is it something in Sonic? Is it a custom character who could possibly be nearby, as possible reference to the theory of Infinite and the custom character? Either way, it's something, and with that, the trailer ends with a brand new Infinite logo that I honestly have no idea what to say about it, except another mystery to solve. As for the whole trailer, I gotta say that it's something incredible and I'm just so excited. Now, let's look at the song. Now, I'm not going to analyze the entire song, but bring up what I think is particularly important about it. The first 50 seconds of the song is rock, dubstep, edge, and Infinite talking serious smack to no one in particular. Probably Sonic about how he's so edgy and he's impossibly strong and that he stands no chance against him. The typical villainous, I am all powerful sort of deal. This pretty much suggests that Infinite is incredibly self-righteous and looks down at others who dare to face him. However, one thing that is interesting amongst all the edgy, emo, smack rap is this particular line. Now, this suggests that Infinite probably was born out of only Sega at this point knows what circumstances, and that he's probably had a very hard life, that he's learned to push past and fuel his hatred, or whatever. However, the second part of that, it only hurts if you let it, could possibly hint at some sort of internal conflict for Infinite, which is interesting. That could mean that Infinite is more than your basic one-dimensional villain of the week, which I am down for. Then we get the singing, which mostly suggests a battle between Infinite and the Sonics and the custom character. However, there's also this, which suggests exactly what I was getting at way earlier. Who Infinite is important, and we'll be hearing about that throughout the game. However, it also suggests that Infinite is going for glory as well. And there's also this line that this could be taken literally, meaning that Infinite could have illusion-based abilities, which could be incredibly interesting. Definitely makes me wonder. But this could also hint at manipulation that Infinite could be doing. These same ideas can also be further hinted at in this particular line as well. But wow, that's all I've got. This was a lot of fun to go through, and I absolutely love what we've got for Sonic Forces. It looks amazing, and I just can't wait over the coming months, all the new things we'll see. We've got even more insight on Infinite, and it makes me wonder if my old theory about him is right or wrong, because I've just got no idea anymore. But either way, as we move forward, Sega's gonna show us what it takes to be Infinite. But let me know what you all think in the comments, and be sure to like and subscribe if you liked this video and want to see more from me. But with all of that being said, this has been the Lyoko Gem, warping out and reminding you all that fun is infinite. Dangerous weapon, I am the sharpest of blades, I'll cut you down in a second.